Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 2nd to the 8th of April 2018. We begin the week coming out of the full moon in Libra, which was Saturday lunchtime. And at 10 degrees Libra, this has all been about recalibration for the spring equinox, the balance of masculine and feminine, inner and outer, higher and lower. All of the polarities, we've had a chance to balance those, and with a very helpful aspect where Venus at the same time returned home to Taurus. So that's a very calm, heart-centered energy there with Venus home in Taurus, because otherwise all the activity this week is in Aries and Capricorn. And both of these are cardinal signs. Both of them like to start things and build and structure, but quite forceful, forward-moving energy. But let's not forget that we've actually got Mercury retrograde in Aries at the moment. So there is no forwards and outwards energy required, but we're called to go inwards and restructure and reconnect with our passion on the inside. So coming out of the full moon in Libra, and on Monday we have Mars and Saturn together. In fact, all week we have Mars and Saturn journeying together in Capricorn. So it's a very energetic feel. Mars is the ruler of Aries, you see, so we've got all the Aries energy with the Sun and Mercury and Uranus, but Mars, the ruler of Aries, is actually over in Capricorn at a square angle, slightly awkward angle, but taking our energy inwards to see what we want to build on and for. So reconnecting to our passion and finding the structure within for that. As I've mentioned quite a few times, often we're working off an old plan. So with Mercury retrograde, especially in the sign of Aries, which is the head, and Mars meeting with Saturn, get back to the point, get back to the passion. What's the actual motivation that we feel behind our projects? Make sure that we're realigned to that so that we're not going off course. I also feel that this Mercury retrograde in Aries can actually be to do with breaking old patterns of thought. So sometimes it's best to do a few things differently during Mercury retrograde so that we are not so condensed in our neural pathways, not so attached to our habits. So by Tuesday I feel that focusing on rigid thought patterns and where they can be broken, or even letting go of mental control long enough that we can see the vision, we can hear the wisdom of the heart. Another theme carrying over from last week is simplicity. Is our perception confused and complicated? Do we have the option to clear out some of the unnecessary thoughts so that we can actually get to the point? And are we even seeing things correctly in the first place? So Mercury retrograde in Aries there, revising. Are we seeing things clearly? Are we overcomplicating? And can we look with new eyes and new perspective to find the simple core truth? So all of this is very liberating really, because we're rebalancing with the full moon and we're focusing inwards with Mars meeting with Saturn. And the Mercury retrograde, although some people find it confusing, it's actually about getting out of your head, getting out of your mind and changing the way you think. But with Venus stepping into Taurus, then the real key is to connect with the heart and to simplify and to be present. Things become a bit more harmonic by Friday, and the real message of the full moon in Libra is delivered. We've been taken on a journey to take responsibility for our emotions and how we relate to others. Relationships have been delivered in such a way that most people are taught to project onto others and avoid what they're feeling and taking responsibility within. But there's no escape here, especially with this Mars-Saturn combination. And if we can stand strong and tall in our own self-acceptance and love, then by the end of the week we have a clear field, some bright skies to bring in some new joyful soul connections or refresh existing connections on a higher level so that they can flourish now that we've got rid of all the psychology, need and want. So by the weekend, a sense of freedom coming in, Libra liberation from the full moon, to really know ourselves, to know what we want on a core level, and to value our precious life force energy by reconnecting with what matters to us instead of running around being busy, outward, striving. So taking the steps necessary to go inwards, to connect with our dreams, to connect with our passion, and to radiate that out from a strong base so that when we do put our energy forwards after the 16th of April, after the new moon in Aries, when Mercury turns direct, we're building on something that matters to us, something that will have lasting value, and something that's worth our valuable life force energy. So a very balancing week, all about the masculine and feminine, the outer, the inner, the head and the heart, and bringing ourselves into that heart space, taking responsibility for our own feelings and recalibrating our relationship with others, connecting to our plan, connecting to our energy, so that when we do step forwards, then everything is prepared and exciting and potent. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. I have some exciting trips planned for this summer to sacred sites, to Glastonbury and Avebury, and most of the dates are confirmed now, so please do have a look on my site www.astrozo.com on the page Sacred Spaces if you're interested in exploring any of those. I'm available one-to-one or over Skype if you'd like to have a reading to see where this is happening for you or what energies you can harness that are around you at the moment. I have a number of online courses and meetups where you can start to learn this for yourself and meet like-hearted souls, and also an online membership group where we're discussing interesting topics and learning more about our own charts as we go along. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.